Jason, hey, congratulations for the change.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Hey, not a problem, not a problem. So tell us, what initially attracted you to a project like The Change?
Um, I worked with Mangelo on 4 films, so we have an amazing relationship and storytelling relationship. So we will talk about things before while he's in the process and what he wants to do. With this one, I think I gave a few notes early on in different screenplays, but I really wasn't playing a role of shaping the story. It was based on another property that he had that he essentially took the first few minutes, expanded them into a sort of a prequel, the lead up to the first few minutes of that story. And, really what I'm tracking on right now on what the most interesting question is in the story is sense of self and self-preservation, like losing who you are, maybe for a more blissful experience, or staying in the fight and staying in control, or whatever perceived control you have of your own existence in your own life. And I thought that was extremely interesting. Working with Claire, working with that sort of father-daughter dynamic, but not really, and choosing to love someone and help them and take care of them when they're not your blood, I think is always really interesting. Our working with my wife, Carlee Avers, on this was, to get to, live completely different circumstances and relationship dynamics with someone that, that you have a whole different world with is always really exciting, and working with Mangelo's always a pleasure. Tony Todd was the big cookie, right? Because he's like he was such a generous, sweet person and a great collaborator on screen and off, and that was a real joy.
All right, well let's approach some of the stuff that you actually had
Yeah.
listed out here. First of all, is this your first project with your wife?
No, we did a film together with Mangelo, the last one, called Diane, and she actually plays Diane. It is that's another project I'm extremely proud of. I'm glad you asked about it. It's I think it's got 89 on Rotten Tomatoes, and super micro indie, but to that, it was a huge building of trust and relationship with Mangelo. It was another step in our relationship as friends, director, actors, and so I think for him to just say, listen, let's plug you and Carlee into this very different world and whatever, and let's have at it, is a good one for him. It's always weird when you're sleeping in the same bed with someone that you have a weird all day good, bad, ugly with. It's odd. Sometimes you don't talk before you go to sleep.
Does this strengthen your bond? Because your characters have a strong bond in this film.
Yes. We you look, my wife and I have a very deep, wonderful relationship, but the trust that we will not allow each other in story, like with this, to have any BS is it's very it gives me a lot of ease, because she's going to tell me, Jay, I don't, let's play with that again. Or, if something was missed, or if there's, when we're collaborating as artists together, there's no walls up. There's no nonsense. We're going to tell each other the truth.
I'm just curious, because obviously the chemistry's there, but do you often rehearse together when you're on the same project?
Neither of us rehearse unless the production has us rehearse. So both of us kind of work the same way, not we came to it from different ways, but we both just take on the story, do our own work, and then kind of give ourselves the freedom to have at it when the camera's rolling. So we don't play or manipulate or even touch the story or what's going to go on until, you know, there may be a rehearsal process or table read or whatever that happens before a project, but we don't mess with it.
Now, in a film like this, what do you consider the change as? Sort of like a horror, a thriller, sci-fi? I mean,
yeah, I think it's a sci-fi thriller. There's certainly a horror component to it. Mangelo's movies are always an enigma. You know, they're always you know, defined with, you know, 10 different you know, subheadings. They're you know, it's the horror to live in the story and live in this world. It's horrific. Will the viewer be horrified by it at times? But also, I think the level of like intrigue, sci-fi meeting this thriller, but also like really, if you allow yourself to take it on and ask those questions to yourself, I think that's the best ride for the movie.
wow, that is terrific. You often love doing indie projects?
And I think indies, you know, look, for me, I'm working on an HBO show called Love and Death, and I'm doing a couple of episodes of that. I get to dig in and play, but with this, I mean, I'm the lead of the movie with Claire and you know, and Tony and Carlee, and I'm like, you know, that level of like immersion, you know, is like, it's hard to come by unless you're, you know, an actor of, you know, A-list status. So to get to really dig deep into quality, which is what Mangelo puts out, is it's a complete joy. So I love it. If the story moves me, man, or if I'm intrigued by it, I'm interested.
Great. Well, let me wrap it up with one more question with you, Jason.
Sure.
Because there's a scene with Tony Todd where he kind of leans over. What would happen if he accidentally, you know, lock lips? Would Carlee be jealous?
I don't know. I think she'd be okay with it, you know. Like I was open to it, but you know, it didn't work out.
That's a great safe answer. Well, thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate it. Hopefully we get to talk to you.
Yeah, great to meet you, man.
Thank you.